Chris Paul gets in, another wide open three.
Pierre Cardin.
Defers to Booker for the long range.
P-H-O-E-N-I-X. Phoenix Suns, and you know we up next. Yeah, we working for that championship ring. We the Valley, it ain't nothing but a thing. P-H-O-E-N-I-X. Phoenix Suns, and you know we up next. Yeah, we working for that championship ring. We the Valley, it ain't nothing but a thing.
Welcome, everybody, to the Aussie Suns Fans podcast. I am your host, Gavin, and it has been a while. So we've all had a little bit going on. Nate with a lot of work, Boyd and I with kids playing sport finals and everything else. We found it really, really difficult to get on and do a little bit of this magic that you all love so much. But it was also nice for us to have a couple of weeks off before we kicked back into it again. And, of course, I would be remiss not to introduce my famous co-hosts, fellow Aussie Suns fans, my bestest mate in the mates in the world, because you're all wonderful. Thank you so much for everything that you're fucking whatever. Nate, how you going, buddy?
G'day, before you waffled on with that other fart, I was actually appreciating the last couple of months not having to do it. So it has been a nice break. But you weren't wrong. The last 7 weeks for me have just been crazy with work, a lot of travel, conferences, so now it's settling down a little bit. So I'm happy to be getting a little bit consistent going into the new season with you guys.
And, of course, everyone's favourite piece of shit, Boyd. Boyd! I've missed you, my man.
I was going to say, Gavin, that's 2 pods in a row that you've been semi-nice to introduce me to the podcast. So I was like, what the fuck's wrong with you, man? But
I've just missed you. That's all.
I've missed you too, man. I missed all you guys. But
I can't believe how ugly you've gotten in the time that we've been away. But look,
thanks, mate.
Look,
I think my eyes are looking very
you look like you've been smoking weed.
Hey, I don't.
It looks like he's about to get anal fucked by KD. That's what it looks like.
Coming soon. It's coming soon. Hey, Nate, you've had 7 weeks off, right? I'm pretty sure you had like fucking 4 of the previous 7 that we were active in as well. Like you're like a tampon. In 1 week out for fucking 3 or however that works. You fucking man, you have to be better this season. This season, Nate, you need to be better. All right.
That's not actually a bad analogy. I'll take that.
Yeah. So don't give me this. You need a fucking break. You don't need shit. You need to do more. Right.
Thanks for the motivational speech, dickhead.
But no, good, great to be back, guys. We've had a big fucking off season that we've just been sitting in the wings, watching everyone else overreact. And we're just going to come in with some recaps.
Some good old Aussie common sense. That's what we're coming in with.
Yeah, rightio.
We're gonna look at it at the straight and narrow, the cut and dry, no bullshit Aussie style. That's what we're gonna do. Aussie style. We're gonna kiss them down under. Nate, it's been a big off season. Obviously, disappointing end to last year. Let's kick it off when we talk about our Suns week wrap up and our Suns 7 week wrap up. How have you seen the off season? Any observations? What's come up for you over the time we've been off and heading into, I think, training camp starts in like 7 days. So what have you seen?
Well, let's go right back to the start because I did miss a lot. Our off season's done now. National media has made all the comments about it. You look at the trades, the draft, the coach hiring. So we got a quality coach. We got the backup center I wanted in Mason Plumlee. We got a youth injection that I wanted.
Yeah,
we got
nice call, by the way. What? Nice call by you,
Plumlee.
Yeah,
oh,
you're on like the day before we signed it. You made that call.
No, it was more than a couple of weeks. I was hanging for that one.
But we did a pod the night before, right? And you made the call the night before.
I reiterated it like 2 times, and then the night before I said, I'm just going to keep saying the same name because I want this guy. And then, I got a wet dream the next morning. So We got our 2 point guards. Now, I'm really excited about it. No, Gav, you didn't give a shit last season, but I'm excited about it. We made all the necessary re-signs. I reckon it was a great off-season. And from all the articles I've read, and even the later ones where they've waited for the dust to settle, it seems national media seems to agree with us. And then the NBA world agrees it was a good off-season. I did read this Stephen No from AZ Central. No idea who he is. He rated it as a B+ off season. I would actually say, given what we had to work with, given what we shipped out, what we re-signed, given the team cohesion, especially with the Olympics, I got to say it's much better than a B+ in my books. I don't know how you guys feel about that.
Yeah, man. Like it's given what we had to work with. You're right. It's an A+. It's got to be an A+. Now Mason Plumlee, given he has health, and we discussed that previously as well. Given his health is good, he's going to come in and he's going to do a solid backup job. We've got a couple of good rookies that we got in the second round. We got 2 of the best turnover to assist ratio point guards. That was a big hole that we needed to fill. We like these guys. What do you think Tyus Jones would have got, man? He would have been at least an MLE guy, in that sort of 10 to 20 mil, like 20 mil for the right bidder. I think easily. But
he did fantastic last season when he got his starting opportunity. So I just like it's it. But that's the next question too. Is it Monte Morris or Tyus Jones if we start one of them?
It's Tyus. It's Tyus. But look, they'll keep each other honest, right? I was I had a bit of a deep dive into Tyus Jones, and he's been a career 15 to 20 minute player. And until he got on that shit of a team, Washington last season, I think he played 66 games or whatever for him. He lodged just a shade under 30 minutes per game. He had his career season in all statistics, his effective field goal efficiency, his 3-point percentage, 41, nearly 42%. So he ticked a lot of boxes as to what he can do as a starter, which is really fucking cool. And we've promised him that starting role. And what gets me hard? We promised him when we signed him. We promised
Monte Morris
starting role. Yeah.
Okay, so the answer is he's getting it, even though Tyus Jones is probably the better selection.
No. Tyus Jones is getting it. He was.
Sorry, Tyus. Sorry.
Yeah, no, they're promised Tyus, not Monte.
There you go then.
You think he's had a career season in a Washington team where he would have been the number one target on most opposing teams. So he's done that, and he's managed to keep his turnovers down and all of his stats up. His percentages all went up. You imagine what he's going to do with the gravity, the gravity that he's going to have,
players that can actually do something with the ball when he passes it to them.
Yeah. I mean, he got extra minutes. He had 29.5 minutes per game with Washington last season. That was his height, the height of his career. And he's 27 years old, and he's going to he's just hitting his prime, and he's going to play a lot freer in this rotation, and then numbers will keep going upwards. So I'm pretty pumped. A+ for me, man.
Well, I think he could potentially be like a Fred VanVleet level player.
Tyus?
Like you look at that project, the career path that he took, and he just needed that extra step into a starting lineup where he could be the guy. I think there's potential there. I mean, it's probably an overread, but we're always what do we call this time of the season? The way too early predictions.
But Fred VanVleet also got a lot more opportunities at his stops than what Tyus has gotten. Tyus has always been that backup guy. Fred VanVleet got a chance to prove himself, and all due respect, he did prove himself, but he got the opportunities in the perfect situation. And I think Tyus is at that point now where he can do the same. It's just in different ways, not in the scoring capacity so much, but just in all them
we don't need
that we really need.
Oh, yeah. All right. So let me go a different direction and just rehash just only 2 trade rumor things that have happened over the off season.
Okay.
Kevin Durant was always, is he happy? And reports are now, Bobby Marks from ESPN reported that the KD contract extension is something to look out for. Management seems to believe KD is happy with their offseason. I mean, that's refreshing to hear because there was a lot of shit talk about KD wanting out straight away because the opportunity wasn't there when he's counting on, I guess, how long has he got as the best player in the league kind of talk. I think the Olympics certainly helped.
From everything that KD said, he's happy, and he's always said that. He's just that nonchalant type of a fucking laid back. He's just going to want to have a dig at fucking cunts on social media, and he's going to have that perception of him not being happy because he gets caught in his feels, as we like to say. But yeah, I don't think he can be unhappy with the owner that he's got, with the management, and the way fucking I mean, the cast that he's got around him, I don't think he can be fucking upset with that. Yeah,
he looks pretty happy sliding into your back end there. He's having a proper celebration back there.
He's there having the best time of his life, and he's looking like a miserable cunt. Of course, people are going to get the wrong idea. Fuck it hell. But yeah, but honestly, for mine, I'm still pissy about last season and the lack of effort. And
it did look like they gave up.
Yeah, at multiple times. And there was times that it looked good, of course, but I'm still pissy about it, man. So Kevin Durant, I don't give a fuck if he's a Hall of Famer or if he's fucking ingratiated himself with the entire Suns fan base. For mine, he's got that fucking prove it to me sort of thing with Boyd Crawley from fucking Brisbane, Australia. He's got to fucking prove himself to me. Otherwise, he can fuck off and get off the fucking Suns and go and be a cool cat somewhere else and not buy in and we'll go another direction. But I want to see give a fuck this season on the court, and I think we're going to do it under Buds.
If anyone listening or watching is wondering why me and Boyd are carrying the show at the moment, it's because Gav's fucking around on a later segment. And he's just trying to find that right nail to shove up my ass so I lose the competition.
This may or may not be true. I'm not going to confirm or deny any of that of those accusations. We have done quite a bit of talking about the off season though, so I really wanted to give you that platform, Nate, because you haven't had the chance to bring that up. So I was going to say anything else about the off season that tickled your fancy or fingered your butthole.
Tickled me fancy.
I would like to address a very recent report, and it's not a new report, it's just a rehashing of an old report, but it pissed me off that I'm still reading it, and like reposts and rereads of this shit. Yardbreaker just still published the Bradley Beal trade rumors to San Antonio. So the Harrison Barnes, Keldon Johnson, and Julian Champagny. A, do any of you even think that's going to happen? And B, would you want it to?
Who's this for?
Bradley Beal to San Antonio.
Oh, fucking hell.
It's not the first time I've heard it. I heard it a while back, but the same name's just got reposted another article on Yardbreaker like a couple of weeks ago.
I've never even heard of Yardbreaker, if I'm being honest. And there's probably a reason for it. I don't know why you're spending your time on these fucking bullshit websites, Nate. It's disappointing. It's really disappointing.
It's a lot better than listening to our fucking X feed. Fucking hell.
Yeah, X feed's gone to shit, man. I was on there trying to find some something to hit on recent, and it's all garbage, man. It's all political shit on there now. It's fucking crap. But dude, Bradley Beal's not going to go to fucking is it fucking Texas? No, that's fucking something else.
San Antonio. I don't know. It's in Texas, yeah.
Texas, yeah. He's not going to waive his no trade clause to go there.
That's the other point I wanted to bring up. The guy has got the no trade clause. He's not going to leave this team to go to that.
Anything Bradley Beal related is just fucking hot garbage, man. It just needs to be fucking just fucking delete that website or just get it out of your favorites tab straight up because it's cock dribble. Cock.
All right. Let's bring all the off-season chat this side of the Olympics then. So it's at least something we haven't spoke about before. I mean, I wasn't around long enough to actually chat on here with you, but since the Olympics, there's two things I've noticed. Anthony Edwards is now Book's biggest fan.
That only just happened today or yesterday, really.
That's very recent. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's going to feed into obvious later chatter we might have. I just think it was.
What are your thoughts on that?
Well, the fact that all the shit talk we put on Minnesota, and then what Anthony Edwards did, talking down about KD essentially, albeit respectfully in the end, to come back when they're at the Olympics and Book gets Edwards' highest praise in a post-Olympics stage interview. I thought that was pretty cool.
Oh yeah. Now, let me. Do you think if Steve Kerr hadn't set that narrative, and he had multiple mentions of Devin Booker and his importance to that team throughout the Olympics, do you think if he didn't set that narrative and set that off, that you'd have fucking Ant-Man, I'm the man, Ant-Man, giving him any props? He's just fucking riding the good waves, man. And he can't get up on it. He can't get up on a pedestal and fucking talk about our Book like that. If you ask me, hey, I know they swept us 4-0 in the first round.
What do you mean talk about our Book? He said Book was fucking awesome.
Yeah, I'm showing the level. Like, we're going to talk about immaturity later on a player. I'm talking about the maturity of this player.
I'm talking about if you're a fucking LeBron James or you're a megastar, future Hall of Famer, you can get up there. But it sounded to me like it was a little bit. He's talking from above, looking down. Like, the boys doing good.
Did you watch the video?
Yeah, and that's how it fucking rubbed me up.
Well, this is a very interesting exercise in perspective, isn't it?
It's a very interesting take.
It's interesting, but it's just the way that I see it. Like, fucking just go get in your own lane and fuck off. Stop jumping on the cool narrative at the moment.
I'm fucking sorry I brought this up now. Fucking hell. So all the time you've been spending on X/Twitter, Boyd, have you been following any of the Suns content that's coming out of Suns marketing, media, whatever you want to call it?
No, not really.
They have got some cheeky shit going on in the off season. It's all lately.
Especially the schedule announcement. That was fucking great.
Oh, I actually missed that one, but the Heat attendance photos.
That was the schedule announcement.
That was, yeah. Then they bowed out real fucking quick on that. But did you see the video they did called excessive heat warning?
No.
They went through on the schedule and they introduced a bunch of games up till Christmas. And they basically pointed out that it was so fucking hot in Arizona at the moment. They were frying eggs in fry pans on the side and then relating it to a game. They melted some plastic figurines and then stepped on it, and that was related to Minnesota. They cooked some chicken nuggets on the sidewalk, and they said Denver Christmas Day.
Yeah, that was the schedule announcement.
So they've gone real fucking cheeky in various.
They went a bit rogue with the old schedule announcement, which was good value. They did well. Although Boyd still looks upset about Ant Edwards praising Book.
Just turn around and look what KD's doing to you. You'll get over it real quick.
It was forced. It came across forced because of what other cunts were saying. He didn't fucking
KD was on the stage with him.
Even more reason for him to fucking crumble. Where's your fucking these things? Where's all this fucking shit?
Why would he say that?
I'm
done
talking about the off season. Gav, take back.
Well, let's talk
over here.
Let's talk about the schedule. Seems though we've let in with the Suns announcements. I'm sure you gents have taken a look at it. Let's have a look at some of the highlights or keys or whatever.
What I didn't actually go in and worry too much about this yet. I kind of looked at preseason and the NBA Cup before I worried about this.
All right. So some of the main things that came out of the schedule and what everybody is reporting on is we have the toughest strength of schedule for October and November. So the start of the year. Our opening game is against the Clippers in LA at the Inuit Dome on October 23rd. They finally
got their own arena in Anaheim, right?
Yes, and it will be the debut of the Wall on the 23rd of October US time, so 24th of October here. Our season opener will be against Dallas on the 26th of October, which is the second night of a back-to-back, the night before we play the Lakers in LA. Christmas Day against Denver. The end of January is probably our toughest run, where from the end of January through to the end of Feb, we have 9 of 12 games on the road, including 4 back-to-backs. And then we run into the end of the season in March, where we have our last 11 games are against 2 games against the Bucks, 2 against the Celtics, the Wolves, Rockets, Knicks, Warriors, Thunder, Spurs, and Kings. We play 16 back-to-backs, and our NBA Cup games are against the Lakers, Spurs, and Jazz.
And OKC.
Obviously, the highlights of all of those games will be the Western Conference games, but what do you see out of the schedule there, gents? What stood out to you, Nate? You said you didn't have a look. Boyd, what stood out to you about the schedule that was released last week?
My initial thoughts were, come on, man, just fucking spread out the fucking the heavy hitters a bit. Just spread it out a bit. That was my initial. But then I quickly just jumped back. But no, fuck that. They can have the hardest fucking run. They need to prove themselves. And I just feel like you fucking go out there, you talk your shit, go out there with a chip on your shoulder from last season. You got your top 2 players have an awesome Olympics run under their belt. So they can they've been working, they haven't had a break. Well, they've had a bit of a break, but not like the other guys. So come out, trial by fire, prove that you're not the fucking flakes from last season. And now I always say that we're going to go like that first 10 games is grueling, right? And I always say we're going to go fucking 10-0. And I'll still keep on saying that. But if I was being negative, I might say that, I'm thinking that we should still come out 7-8-2. Anything less than that to me is just going to be fucking. I'm pissed off again for the rest of the season. But yeah, I think that we need it. I think that we need this trial by fire, and I'm looking forward to it. And I don't give a fuck that we have 16 back-to-backs, and the career the league average is 15 back-to-backs or whatever that is. I don't give a fuck about that.
14.9.
Yeah. So we're 1 point something. I think we're 1 and a bit over the average or something like that. But I don't care about that either, because we need this. This is the fucking prove it season after a season and a half of this thing not doing what it was supposed to. So I'm here for it. I don't want to whinge about it. I just want to fucking get on with it.
Did for 5 minutes.
No, I'm not whinging about it. I'm angry about people who would like to whinge about it, because we are better than this. I think that this team is so fucking good that we shouldn't be fucking, deer in a headlight about any of this shit. We should welcome
That's exactly where I come in, Boyd. That's why I don't bother looking deep into the schedule and analysing it from when are the tough games perceived as, we don't even know whether these teams that are perceivably tough are going to play any good. So, and we're backing our team to think they can go all the way. Well, if the team's going to go all the way, it doesn't matter what your strength of schedule is. If you think you're the best team in the league, it doesn't make a fucking difference. You're going to fucking probably mute your feed and turn your camera off on this one, but Gav, I look at the Brisbane Lions season for the AFL this year, and I want to make a comparison. You know, we started fucking awful. And then we found our stride and we hit 9 wins in a row, right in the middle to the end of the season. Then we had a couple of shit weeks, but we were sitting on second, we were on the bottom of, like near the bottom of the ladder for a while, into the top 2, and now sort of guaranteed finals position. So if you look at the strength of schedule, getting the tough games out of the way early in the season, if they're perceived as that, not such a bad thing. You know, if we can have an easy run home, and we've already done the work, then fucking perfect.
Yeah, it's look, I think we've all sort of spoken a lot about the fact that, and I'm still gonna stick with it. The facts are that if we want to win a title, we have to beat everyone. So I don't really care who we play and where we play them. Just you've just got to win games, and the target needs to be 55 wins again. 55 plus. We want to be heading up towards 60. As you said, Boyd, start of the season, it can start slow sometimes, but the facts are that we need to be able to be trying to approach and that sort of 8-2, 7-3 type record in the first 10 games of the year this season.
Yeah.
It's going to be important for us to get off to a good start.
Statement.
Go, mate.
Yeah, make a statement is what I said.
Yeah,
and make a statement territory. Yeah,
it's something that we haven't been overly good at in the last few years. We've sort of started slowly. So I think that all of us are going to the eyes are going to be out there on the Suns. There's going to be an expectation from the Suns fan base that this team can actually create something really, really good and really, really quick. So it'll be interesting to see how we go.
I just want to see what I really don't want to see, and I think what will send me over the fucking edge is if you remember when we had easy runs, we always play down to competition, and I think it's in February. There's a nice little stretch of and no game's a gimme, but there's a nice little stretch of games where we can really rack up some wins and really fucking be front runners. But you know when we had back-to-back, we had this season just gone. We had back-to-back losses to the Spurs, and then we came out and we lost fucking 2 out of 3 to fucking Atlanta, and just these teams where it felt like it was a perceived night off for them. I just want to see them. I just want to see them games, the consistency. Because we play up to competition, but I just want to see them games we really put them away. And I don't care if we don't fucking beat the fucking socks off of Dallas or fucking the Lakers or whatever. Get the win, gritty. It can be close, it can be competitive. Of course I'd love to see it, but I don't want to see this because it's a big sign of just mental weakness when we come out and we're a fucking a star-studded squad and we get fucking made look stupid by teams. So yeah, that's something that I really want to see improve this season.
So let's go way too early predictions. What's our record based off the schedule?
Fuck, I've not even looked.
How many wins? Just give me wins.
82, baby. Give me 82.
You just told us we were going to go 8-2 in the first 10 games.
I said the negative naysayers will tell you that. But hey, look, if you want my my negative naysayer glasses on, I'll give you.
You've been a bit negative since we got knocked out last year, I must say.
Was that you, Gav?
No, he just left.
He dropped himself. Gav, I haven't put any thought into it, but I think we've got to aim for a goal of 60, right? A goal has to be 60 wins.
I think 65
target is 60.
65 should be a nice, delicate canter for this team.
Should be. Especially with the
delicate
development year under their belt. Like we made, right at the end of last season, we made excuses for the team. He's doing a ray gun. We made excuses for the team about when we looked at even the Heat when they had Bosch and Wade and LeBron. They didn't win the first season. We made all these excuses last year. So last year's season was our get to know it year, and this is the do it year. Now, the Heat did it in that year. So we have to have that confidence if we're going to make those comments a year ago or at the end of last season, rather, that this is the year.
Boyd's prediction is a nice, easy canter. Should be 65 games when the Celtics dominated the regular season last year and had 64.
Yes.
That's actually,
I'm
not going to say a nice, easy canter, but it's the East. It's the East. And do we think we're better than the Celtics?
Yes. Fucking oath we are.
Then there you go. Fucking first time I'm going to agree with you.
Fucking losers, man.
So the Thunder, finished last year. The Thunder finished last year with 57 wins. So I think our minimum expectation has to be 58 wins, and anywhere between 58 and 62 would be lovely.
There we go. Agreement. Before we move too far, like you went straight to regular season. I told you I wanted to chat a little bit about preseason. I got 2 points. Let's just start with the preseason schedule. Where the fuck is Palm Desert and Ball Arena? So when we play the first game of the preseason against the Lakers, it's in Palm Desert. So it's clearly not at Staples/Crypto. Where the fuck is Palm Desert? And then when we play Denver, it's at Ball Arena. Did they rename it, or is it off in some other complex where they're doing a little preseason showcase?
Well, it may be because I know that we are playing the Spurs at some stage during the year at the Texas Longhorns Arena, which is where KD went to college. So, yeah, I think Palm Desert, no idea where that is. I'm sure that some of our fans will let us know, but it is in California. But it's certainly not.
Want to be, wouldn't it?
It's certainly not where we go. And what did you say? Ball Arena.
Ball Arena in Denver.
Well, there is a Ball Arena.
We're playing both our home games at Footprint, even though we now have a G League playing at ASU, which is 5 kilometers away. Why aren't we showcasing ASU? Just a thought. I don't really give a fuck where they play. We've been there together. Yeah.
I don't give a fuck where they play.
We fucking
love Tempe. We fucking love Tempe.
That's true. Tempe was great.
Arizona State University is a fucking cool campus. And if they're going to play the Valley Suns G League games there, if all these other teams in the preseason are using these off-the-cuff arenas, why aren't we doing it?
You need another 7 weeks off, mate. If this is what you're bringing, you need another fucking 7. I'll give you 8, cunt.
Dude, go back and review.
As long as there's I didn't even know they were playing at Palm Desert Bowl Arena. So well played, Nate. I'm not going. Boyd's been a fuckhead. But I don't care where they play as long as they put the ball in the fucking hoop.
All right, fine. Well, this is the Aussie Suns Fans pod. So the one other preseason thing that's happening is obviously the NBL crossover. Only 2 teams this year. Cairns and New Zealand are the only 2 teams going over.
Who are they playing?
It's a good question. I think OKC was one of them.
Well, they're not playing the Suns.
No, not the Suns. The Suns have Lakers, Detroit, Denver, and then Lakers again. Look, OKC is one of Utah Jazz.
Well, they might be a chance at a win if they play the Utah Jazz. They're going to play against Patty Mills, I guess. I'm assuming that they sort of set up the OKC thing prior to Josh Giddey getting his ass traded to Chicago. I'm pretty sure they try to play their games against teams with Australian representatives, but whatever.
Yeah, exactly. What fucking ever. You got any more gems there, Nate? You fuck.
No, I'm just trying to be an asshole, boy.
Dude, just
don't be an
fucking drop
asshole, boy.
off again. No one liked you anyway, you fucking dick.
I know no one fucking likes me. I'm fucking at peace with it
Go
too.
back and talk to your sex bots.
All right, so gents, tell me though, what is the regular season game you're most looking forward to then?
Oh, home opener.
Yeah.
Home
Dallas.
opener for Nate? Dallas. Look, for me it's always Christmas Day because it's Boxing Day over here.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
like
No, Gav,
you
you're
can get
right.
sauced up and like
Yeah, but
Denver Nuggets.
home opener against Dallas, who we fucking hate, against that bitch we fucking hate, against another bitch they just hired, who we fucking hate.
I'll tell you.
That's true. That is true.
Klay Thompson and Luka Doncic. Who do we
Yeah.
fucking like to shit on more? And other than LeBron, obviously, and he's not going to join the team. I think
What
that's a
I'll
great
say-
home opener.
What I'll say is merit to both. And I'll say,
Yeah,
'cause
there is
Gavin,
merit to both.
Gavin, your one is like, it's the fucking like best day of the year. And
Yeah,
it's,
it is.
and it's a whole day of just cricket, piss, basketball, and just in the sun, barbecue, all that sort of cool shit, right? So that's fucking dope. But if we can beat the fucking panties off of Luka Doncic and fucking Klay Thompson on the second night of a back-to-back in the first week of the fucking
That's
NBA.
that's the one thing I hate about that game is that we have to do it on the second night of a back-to-back after the
Hey,
And a
fuck.
traveling. Is it a traveling back to back?
yeah.
Traveling back to back, right?
Yeah, so we play LA in LA, and then we've got to
Just-
cruise back.
Just adds
Hey,
to the narrative, man. It adds to the
Joe,
narrative. It adds to our
GOD3, fuck Christmas Day 3:30. Oh, you're in the UK, right? 3:30 in the
Oh.
morning's tough. That's a tough ask. But in saying that, I will say something, right? When it comes to Boxing Day, the first game of the morning. So there's 4 games on Christmas Day. The first game is in Australia is 3 a.m. Second game is 5 a.m. Third game is like 9, or no, it might be a little bit more. Or it might be. Is there 5 games Christmas Day? I don't know.
No, I
But basically, they're almost back to back the entire morning, and then the Suns play here at like 2:00 in the afternoon.
Oh,
It's
wow.
perfect. So, like, I get up at like 3.
and I'll actually
I get up
second
early
three,
and watch
so-
the whole lot. Because Christmas Day, you'll sit there, you'll have a few beers, have Christmas lunch, early to bed, 6, 7 o'clock, wake up at 3, 4 in the morning, and just start watching back-to-back NBA games, and start drinking beers like at 4 o'clock in the morning.
But again, let's talk about perspective. You can't bitch about a 3:30 game if they're all fucking 3:30 games because you live in the UK.
That's true. It's stiff for you in the UK.
I mean, it's bad
That's a
enough
r-
here
it's
that
a
they're all
rough-
at fucking 10 in the morning. Like, fuck.
I don't mind well, most of our games the West Coast games are like between 12 and 2, right?
Yeah.
Like it's the ideal time for basketball that we cop,
In Australia.
right? Australia's
Yeah,
like the perfect time.
In Singapore, no one even fucking drinks here before 4. So,
Yeah, that's
trying to
true.
get to the fucking... There's only
Unless
Aussie,
I'm
there's
there.
only-
Unless when
Very
I'm over
many-
there, Nate, and then we're drinking first thing in the morning all the way through. We only
We're not
finish
even
at 4.
leaving. We're not even leaving. You're just sleeping on the couch drinking beers out. You fall asleep with the tin in your fucking hand, wake up and finish it in the morning.
Yeah, no, that's rough. I do feel bad for the I do feel bad for the UK with 3:30 a.m. games. That's rough. So yeah, Boyd, you're a sort of a split between the two.
Yeah, look, I prefer the win, that statement win against the Mavs, but I'm going to enjoy the Christmas game more.
I agree that the enjoyment factor is it's a less invested watch. He's gone again. It's a less invested watch on Boxing Day for Australia. But that first home game for the season is
What's
there's
the
no
build-up,
other
right?
games to watch. It's the start of the season. It's all the excitement. It's like
Yeah,
fuck yeah, we're tipping off now. And it's unfortunate the first game of the season's not at home, but the fact that even the first game of the season against the Clippers in Anaheim, That's going to be exciting just because it's a new arena and they lost.
And
Paul
let's
George.
be honest. Let's be honest.
fucking
And GOD3, he'll agree with us here. Whether it's in Phoenix or whether it's in LA or whether it's anywhere else, it's different. It's a different level for us overseas and over here because the first game's the first game.
Yeah,
it's not a home or away. It's just the first game for us. Like once the game starts, I don't know whether it's a footprint or somewhere else. I don't care. They're just there playing basketball, right? So, in that sense, I'm kind of looking. I would have looked forward to the Clippers game more if Paul George was playing, just to see whether Booker tried to punch him in the face.
I'm so fucking glad he's gone. I just wanted that team to just fucking change because they hurt us. Like literally, they either physically hurt us or they're just a drama machine that I'm just fucking sick of dealing with.
Well, it's certainly changed now. It's down to Kawhi and James Harden, and we all know that Kawhi barely plays at all. So
NBA Cup.
Yeah, let's talk a bit of NBA Cup.
There was a lot of complaints last year about the courts. I haven't read anything yet. I'm just wondering if you two are a little more connected to X than I am because I can't be bothered. Is there
nothing's been released?
So there's no news about change of court designs, change of the paint that everyone said was slippery, other than the regular format of court.
I've heard that they're still bouncy. The balls will still bounce. It's gonna be great.
They'll still bounce.
Yeah.
You fucking tool.
I don't give a fuck about what court they play on.
I gotta say, when I'm playing 2K, when you start a new season, you know that like fuck you, 82 games in. And if you're like me, you don't sim any of them, you play them all. I actually look forward to the NBA Cup games. I think it was an absolutely amazing change to the game. When you're playing 82 games, you know that you got that first month and a half, 2 months. They keep it interesting for you on a video game as well. Love it.
The reason I love the NBA Cup, the in-season tournament, is cunts play right down to the last second. And they fucking rack up on these cunts. And it's the way basketball should be played, and I love fucking watching it.
I actually enjoyed the tournament last year. It added something else. And like I said, Boyd, like Book shooting threes with the clock winding down and we're still up 7. Like fucking like that. That's great.
It's like watching AFL when you know the percentages matter.
Yeah, that's right. I'm all for it. I look, they did okay. The only thing I hated out of the NBA Cup last year was the fact that the Lakers won and wanted to hang a banner. Like you don't hang a banner if you win the NBA Cup, but I actually the in-season tournament as a whole, I actually enjoyed it. So
I think it's great.
Yeah.
Do you know it's sponsored this year? So it's now the Emirates
NBA Cup, yeah. And
we've got it's going to be held again in Vegas with that extra game for the 2 final teams. Tuesday in America, it's Tuesday, December 17. So for us, it's going to be Wednesday morning, the 18th of December in Vegas. And they're going to have that ugly fucking ass ball again, even though it bounces, Boyd.
It'll still bounce, yeah. That's what I hear. Per sources. This is what I'm getting. This is what I'm getting. It's coming in.
hot off Twitter. Hot
off fucking, yeah.
The ball will bounce and the rings will still have nets on them.
Saucy.
All right.
I actually, just before we move on, a funny thought. I would love if the NBA just fucked with the players and for the final in Vegas, because everything's bigger and better in Vegas, right? If they just changed the size of the court and didn't tell anyone. So all the players go out there and it's about an extra foot wider. It's 3 foot longer and they just don't say anything. And say, surprise, thanks to Emirates.
Yeah. And they moved the 3-point line back to the center.
Better that they've got the starry 4-point line from the 3-point contest on
there. And during the game, they roll out the Mountain Dew money ball.
There we go. Yeah.
Anyone who shoots this from behind the yellow line gets 4 points. Fuck it. It's the grand final. No one cares. It doesn't count. I don't care about the grand final of this tournament. I'm with you. I only give a fuck about what happens in the lead up because the points count. Once they get to the grand final, a game that doesn't count against the schedule or anything, who cares? Fucking make it a competitive All-Star game and replace the All-Star game, which is an absolute load of fucking bollocks. But anyway.
Agreed.
Gents, have you got a piece of paper and a pen?
Oh, we're doing it? All right, let's see how badly I can lose this week, Boyd.
I'm going to start this one very easy, okay?
He's in his shorts. Look at me. He's in his jammy shorts.
He's in his jammy shorts. I love it. That's why KD's
That's
why KD's so excited.
That's why he scratched his ass.
Yeah.
He's backing up to KD. That was always the plan.
That's why KD's so excited behind him. I've made this one a little bit easier, so we're going to change Random Suns up a little bit, but we thought we need to bring it back. I know this is no good for our Spotify listeners, so if you are on Spotify and you're listening, jump on YouTube, check it out. It's worthwhile checking out the video anyway. You can watch KD sort of trying to ram something in Boyd, and then you can
level of intent in his face doing it.
You can check Nate out, all decked in LVA gear, and then you can check me out, just looking beautiful as usual.
And cold because you're fucking Melbourne. Eat a dick.
And cold, I'm freezing.
Yeah, I was there 2 weeks ago, and you're right. It was fucking chilly, man. Cold. I had to get my leather jacket out of storage.
It goes through your bones down here. Although we're starting to see at least a little bit of an uptake in weather. But anyway, I digress. Are you ready, gents?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Ready.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Random Suns.
This is how legends are made. This is how.
Okay, gentlemen.
Who
was the first picture boy?
I've got. Hang on, just. It was Trevor Ariza, mate.
He's right, but he got it first. I didn't know that till he said it. I'm like, yeah, he's right.
It was Trevor Ariza. Who was picture number 2, Nate?
No, I have no idea. I was sitting there going, oh, and then it changed. I'm like, I got nothing.
It was Matt Barnes.
Boy, it was Matt Barnes.
Fuck, I can't even remember he played for us. Are you serious? Matt Barnes played a Suns game? I can't even remember that.
Boyd, who was picture number 3?
Can I have this one? Can I have this one, please?
Beasley, man.
Nate, who was picture number 3?
Yeah, it was Beasley.
Yeah, it was. Boyd, it was Michael Beasley. And who was picture number 4?
This is the one that I'm like stuck in my head because I know. Because I kept wanting to say one of the Arsdale twins, but then it's Westfall.
No, it was not.
Oh, fuck.
I had Westfall as well.
It was Alvin Adams.
Yeah, that would be.
Oh shit.
So
I
black and white ones.
I started with one of the Arsdale twins, and I'm like, no, it's the other one. It's the other one. And then he said, Coach. I'm like, yeah, Westfall. Fuck. All right. Well, at least that was
Alvin Adams.
That's good.
So 1 for Nate and 3 for Boyd. So well done, Boyd. Just still on fire, my friend.
There was 4 Suns, and he didn't get the last one. How did he get 3? Oh, because he got all 3 of the first ones. Gotcha. All right.
He got 3, yeah. He got 3 out of the 4, mate.
Well, at least you gave me one of them, even though, yeah, Thanks for the sympathy.
You are very, very welcome. So our next segment, gents, we're changing up a little bit. So we feel like this has been a staple of what we've done, and I'm working with Mr. Voida from. Oh, by the way, all credit to John Voida for the graphic for the schedule before. Thank you very much, John Voida. Suns Jam Session, Bright Side of the Sun. Make sure you check it out. I'm also working with him for 2 new drops for this, but we are now changing this up. Our beer of the week will now be a combined effort, as will, and we have renamed the segment. Both have been staples since we first started day one, but
Beer
we
and
have
flog.
renamed the second one. It's been beer and flog. It will now be beer and something a little bit more Australian. Fuck that guy. So to
Are we
start
gonna have
off
like
with,
did he do a ray gun graphic for it? Because we really should have a ray gun graphic for this.
we can
John would
try,
have a-
but for
John would
now,
have-
Kill everyone in this room for a drop of sweet beer.
So, Homer, please feel free to tell us anything.
You didn't update shit. Thanks, John.
no, I said I'm working on it with John. Fuck is wrong with you? Jeez, what you fucking
I've been
nasty.
listening to Boyd for 50 minutes.
All right, so what we've decided, we got together beforehand, and we have decided that who the Aussie Suns fans want to have a beer with this week. And obviously, after I name him, you guys can expand on why we want to have a beer with this person.
So gender biased.
But who we want to have a beer with this week.
Just for the record,
Is-
I did nominate Ray Gun for both of these awards.
I'm happy for you I'm happy for you to mention this as part of your expansion. You don't have to restrict your expansion. You can talk about, hey, I would have liked to have, and go into that. Stop
I
interrupting
don't usually
me.
show you my
You,
expansion.
you are taking away the prestige of this award for this week's winner of who do we want to have a beer with? Steve Kerr.
Hoorah.
Boyd, why
Hoorah.
do you want to have a beer with Steve Kerr?
Mate, because he's been saying what we've been fucking saying, and it feels like he's echoing the Suns fan base. When he came out and he made a point of saying, "Hey, hold up a second, boys. None of you cunts fucking mentioned this guy," and it was Devin Booker, and he's fucking and rightly so. And like, everyone brings up that tweet where he's like, "I'll do it," and he fucking did do it, man. He did it right down to a T. There was a fucking Carmelo Anthony, of all people. There's a clip going around of him talking about Jason Tatum and the Devin Booker thing and
Save
how
it.
he started. And
Save it.
yeah. But anyway, basically, Carmelo Anthony basically said, and this is coming from Carmelo, who for years didn't accept the role. He didn't, so it kind of had weight coming from him. But he said Book went out there and he accepted exactly. He done exactly what he needed to do for a team.
Yeah,
of
you've gone a
stars,
bit
and,
early here, but
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway. Yeah.
Dick.
But yeah, it kind of ties.
Steve Kerr, Nate. Why do you want to have a beer with Steve Kerr?
Because since we started doing this pod, yeah, just fucking mute this motherfucker. Since we started doing this pod, all we've done is shit on national media for not recognizing Book and our team, and most especially Book. The national media has slowly been coming around, but Steve Kerr basically put everyone on notice by saying what he did about Book at the Olympics. National media cannot ignore it. The evidence is there. And I think this dude deserves the beer for correcting and setting every national writer in the US straight. That's why.
Absolutely spot on. The great thing is, and Boyd touched on a couple of the pieces as well, we have forever been pushing this as Suns fans, that Book does not get enough credit for what he does on a week-to-week basis. And it's because nobody pays attention to the guy. But what Steve Kerr did was come out and he went, hey, Steph was great. He hit a lot of threes. He did a fantastic job. LeBron won the MVP. Good on LeBron. Fantastic, amazing, good stuff. But our unsung MVP was Devin Booker, who did everything that we needed him to do to make sure that we won a gold medal. And this is what we've been trying to tell people. But Devin Booker's just faced the hate for years and years and years, which pisses us off. But it's starting to turn.
But even Anthony Edwards in the interview before, when I think it was Melo and KD, he made mention of Book went out there and hit the best player on the defense, on the best player on the court every night. Like we're talking about a role, but even his fellow teammates were saying this guy took the defensive assignments. This is an offensive weapon, and he's finally getting realized for his defensive ability as well.
Yeah, and the fact that as a superstar of the competition, he knows when to take a back seat or when to go. And we saw, I think it was the first quarter of the semi-finals, where he came out and had like 14 points in the first quarter. He went Book like we normally see Book in that first quarter by hitting the scoreboard. But the remainder of the tournament, he picked and he selected the moments that he wanted to go. And I think that everybody nationally, even opposition fans, are now seeing that, and everyone's just disappearing on me now. I'm just fucking sitting here on a fucking stream by myself.
To be honest, Boyd's fucked everything up this, so I just wanted to join him.
Boyd's on fire up there in fucking Cairns, crashing helicopters. It was great to see, and Steve Kerr really kicked that narrative off over those couple of weeks. So that's why we want to have a beer with him. Boyd, I need you back because I was going to go to you first because you were on this rant before we cut you off.
I can go.
So Boyd, our nomination this week for fuck that guy is Jason.
Is there a graphic? Where's John Voida? Where's his drop?
I don't have a
I want to
graphic.
see the graphic. You just gave John all these props for the nice graphic. Where is it?
He said he was working on it.
Boyd.
Hey, I just got a little bit of a home.
Our nomination for this week for fuck that guy is Jason Tatum from the Boston Celtics. Boyd, why are we saying fuck that guy to Jason Tatum?
I'll be back in a second, mate.
Okay, he's on a call. Nate, do you want to tell us why we're nominating fuck that guy? Nobody wants to tell me. I'll tell you why. Because of what Boyd said before. When it comes down to it, and
you were
fuck you all.
You dumped me off. I went to get a drink.
When I say fuck that guy, it's for you two now. Jason Tatum is now one of my favorite players. No, Jason Tatum fucking sulked and whinged about his ability to contribute to the games in the kick. There's a reason why. And the reason why was exactly what Carmelo Anthony said. And that's why Boyd went too early. Well, Melo came out and said, Jason Tatum is not willing to accept a role. Devin Booker is. So that's why Tatum sat his ass on the bench. Tatum, stop fucking sulking. You got a gold medal. Go the fuck home. You weren't even the best player on your team in the Celtics that won a title.
So much
but you sit there and claim that shit. Fuck you. Nate, go. Why are we saying fuck you, Jason Tatum?
All right, let's start with the immediate facts. You just referenced Carmelo Anthony actually agreeing with you. So also, he did a backflip later on where he actually called, I've got written it down here, the experience for Jason Tatum as humbling. He went on to call it class and professionalism, the way Jason Tatum handled the Steve Kerr moment. I'm sitting here and Steve Kerr is writing the narrative. All we're hearing is the whinging from Jason Tatum. And I didn't even see any supporting evidence from Carmelo Anthony. I hope you're having a good beer session with whoever you're talking to there, Gav. But to hear Carmelo Anthony and then some writer named Adam Taylor also agree with him on national media that it was class and professionalism, the way that Jason Tatum handled that. I think it's bullshit. And if you want me to add further because you're not listening and you're talking to somebody else having beers.
I am absolutely listening. I am having beers with someone though, but I am listening.
I've mentioned it before and I can't ever fucking get out of my head. When I went to Melbourne with my mate Matty, who runs one of the fantasy pods, we watched USA versus Australia. And Jason Tatum was earlier in his career, But when he's starting and he's on the court, it was all about him. He's such a selfish fucking player. And, I mean, yeah, maybe it's changed a bit, but that little tantrum he threw at Paris, all that did was remind me of what I saw in Melbourne when he wanted to be the big swinging dick against the Australian team at Marvel at the time. So, no, fuck him. Fuck that guy.
Hold on, were you at those games in Melbourne?
The second one.
You didn't come say hello.
Didn't know you then.
It's probably true.
It's probably true.
Anyway, Boyd, thanks for your feedback on that topic as well. Really appreciate it. Jason, who we say? Fuck that guy, Jason Tatum. Nate, last comments. Where do we find you? All that fun stuff that we normally do.
At Nicky's Falcon on the X. If you message me directly, I won't have muted that feed yet, so I might actually see your message, unlike all my other pod family. Last bit, it's just been fun. It's nice to be back. I've had a big enough break to have like something to talk about. We're going into preseason soon, which we can make our far too early predictions. We can start doing we can start doing episodes on how many wins does each team get in the East and the West. Be completely fucking wrong. Nominate all our MVPs and be completely fucking wrong. I'm looking forward to it.
Was it you with the Wizards selection last year?
Yeah. But I at least nailed a couple. A couple of teams I got their records perfect.
Jesus Christ. Fucking hell. Boyd, last comments. Where can we find you? Okay, thanks for that. It's been a pleasure. Follow us at Aussie Suns Fans. Click like, click subscribe. It helps us get the message out there to everybody. Thank you to those of you that joined us in the chat tonight, watching live. If you are on the Spotify feed, check out the YouTube feed as well. Hit like, hit subscribe, look after us, do all that sort of stuff. But the ultimate thing about the Aussie Suns Fans, we might have been away for a few weeks, but we're back now. And the important thing is that the one thing that never changed about what we do is that we're not here to fuck spiders.
As Chris Paul gets in, another wide open three.
Suns. Pierre Cardin. Suns.
Defers to Booker for the long range.
Phoenix. Phoenix Suns, and you know we up next. Yeah, we working for that championship ring. We the valley, it ain't nothing but a thing. Phoenix. Phoenix Suns, and you know we up next. Yeah, we working for that championship ring. We the valley, it ain't nothing but a